Sie mad. And we are mad. We are all insanely mad. Need medication. Man, road report for the island. Icy and dicey. Just don't drive. Best advice. Now, a while back, a long time ago, before the internet, before I had the internet, there was a movie called Men in Black, and this is one of the movies I used to, sort of watch with the kids, and so I saw it probably more than once. We may have even had the tape at one time, the cassette tape, and in this one part of the movie, Will Smith is a new recruit in this organization that looks for alien activity here on Earth. And the one agent says, well, we're going to go out and gather information today from one of our most reliable sources. And he goes to the newsstand and he buys a tabloid newspaper. He's buying a newspaper, and he's flipping through them. Of course, he finds aliens. They always write the stories about aliens and things like that. But it occurred to me at that time, and I thought about this. I don't know why things strike a point or strike a note inside me. And it said, I thought to myself, yeah, sometimes you can find the truth in the most unlikely places. And certainly not in publications that are more popular. Because a lot of people, especially on subjects that people don't know about or just simply don't want to hear about, so they conveniently make sure they're not confronted with this sort of information or this sort of thought process, because it's better not to know what's going on and just go through with your daily life and not think about it and let nature work everything out, or let God work everything out, I suppose. But the main subject today, beautiful drive, it's icy and dicey, snowy and blowy. Well, it's not really blowing too much today, but man, it's fucking cold. Believe me, fuck, it's gonna suck. I work outside, it's not gonna be easy. Anyway, in France, where there's religious zealots everywhere, it seems, and I guess they're going to attack the country, and they're going to attack Western interest, and they're going to do everything. They're going to get some dirty bombs together. It's ISIS. They're everywhere, and they're nowhere, and yet they're anywhere. Who the fuck knows? We don't know. That's why it's so great when it comes to this war industry. It's just a never-ending war, man. There's people up in Washington just. I mean, this gives them erections at 90 years old, thinking about it. But anyway, in France, and Britain, and Germany, and Italy, and I tell you, India, that worries me the most, India, and these little fucked up countries like that. Anyway, when the nuclear industry was young, and everybody wanted the atomic bomb, they started putting up these goddamn fast breeder reactors everywhere. And the fast breeder reactor, which was also, one was built over there on Lake Erie, right where the new Fermi plant stands in Monroe, Michigan, and it dumped all kinds of goddamn radiation into the atmosphere, and that was before we even had instruments to measure it. So we don't know what's been going on in the Earth for a long time, except it's not been good ever since this nuclear thing has come about. But anyway, they built these fast breeder reactors where they use a sodium like lithium chemical solution to cool the reactor rods, and unlike water boiling plants, the solution boils at like 500 degrees, so you get a lot more energy out of the system than you put in it. And I read somewhere, I think it was like 24% more. The problem is it's a giant fire hazard, and if it catches on fire, guess what? Everything in that fucking fallout is radioactive and it goes right in the atmosphere. Now the thing is, they decommissioned a lot of these plants because everybody had plenty of plutonium, plenty of uranium, I think it was 238, to make these damn bombs with. They had plenty of it. There's plenty of it now, enough to go around, make tons of fucking bombs. But the thing is, they close these plants down. Now there's a big nuclear site, right? And they can't move the stuff out of there because it's too radioactive. Now the thing is, when they turn these plants off, people think, oh, they're safe now, but they're not. They're storage areas for highly radioactive and in this case plutonium fucking material all over the place. Now when you turn the plant off, it doesn't go just cool down like a light bulb. It stays hot for like 25-30 years. And you know, then they decommission the plant in phases, and the entire phase takes over 100 years, nearly. By the time they can, you know, they call it recycling. And some of the process of this recycling is they just hope to God they got the technology to recycle it. And about 20 years from now, when some of these plants that have reached that stage where you can supposedly remove some of the radioactive materials, will occur. We hope we have the technology to deal with it by then, because we don't have it right now. It's like a fucking on a wing and a prayer. It's like my fucking life, wing and a fucking prayer, every fucking day. Oh shit, my arm's hurting. Okay, beautiful day, but I just wanted to get that out there. Now they say these fanatics, is ISIS or whoever the hell it is, inside job. I don't know, but you know something? They take some explosives in one of these facilities, especially these brass breeder reactors that have been closed down or whatever. They're giant radioactive sites. Let's hope to God when these French people deploy their military, they're deploying a lot of their crack troops at these locations, and they've got a lot of them. France pretty much relies all on nuclear power for electrical grids, so it's a very dangerous situation over there, and they better get their shit together. Even in America, because we got a bunch of these fucking closed down fuckers too, man. And they're just radioactive shit. Somebody throws a couple bombs in there or whatever, you know, and spread some fallout. You know, I mean, even though it may not be totally harmful, if it spreads over a city, you know, you can see a giant city being evacuated, you know, especially in Europe where everybody's more compressed into smaller areas, and those nuclear plants are like just a couple miles from the city, you know, things like that, these sites. All right, beautiful day out here. It is cold. I just wanted to say that. I hope that to God that never happens, man. But you got to look at the likelihood. These people, if they're fanatical, and once again, fanatical is a word that comes from the French language, and it means just an overzealous religious nut. That's what it means. Look it up. Look all this stuff up, I say. Look it up, I say. See, it's beautiful out here, man. Look at that. Stress-free ride. Look out.